The man suddenly realized that his father's photo was strangely crooked, but he doesn't notice a shadow behind him until he heard the banging sound of the door closing. The man realized that there might be a burglar in the house. But not only did the unlucky thief not have anything of value in the bag he stole out, he also discovered the owner's shocking secret. This also completely killed himself and his mother. He didn't want to give up without stealing anything of value. So while John was out of the house, he sneaked into the mansion again. The thief first used his cell phone to hack the wireless network, and with a simple click, the wireless network was easily cut off. All the surveillance equipment in the house failed, but this kind of disconnection can only last for 15 minutes. So he set the time with his watch and put on his mask. He sneaked into the mansion, but he didn't steal anything valuable first. He took down the pictures on the wall. He was just about to write "visit here" on the wall with hand spray paint. Suddenly he heard a strange sound coming from the basement. He was startled. Curiosity got the better of him and he wanted to see what was inside, but he walked in and saw there was a lamp on. There's a fan on the side of the room that's waving its head automatically. Also found old photos on the table that were dated. It looked like it had some unknown story. Then he surprisingly found a weird-looking person. This place is full of weirdness. He looked down and noticed a bright light appearing under the cabinet. John was playing ball, suddenly realized that the wireless network and surveillance at home were cut off. He had a bad feeling about it, so he immediately drove back. The thief carefully walked over to check, found that behind the cabinet is really a door and locked. Then he moved the cabinet. In front of his eyes was a red door. Through the doorway to see immediately gave him a shock. He sat down on the floor. A cold chill ran down his back. Then a dark shadow flashed through the door. At that moment, the alarm clock of his watch sounded and it was already 15 minutes. John drove back to the house. He ran into the house in a hurry, but just as he entered the house, he realized that the internet was back on. Then he went to the basement and found the lamp on the floor. He didn't think much of it and thought it was the swinging fan. Then his best friend from the game called to ask what happened. John explained that it was nothing. It was just a false alarm. He looked up and realized the picture on the wall was crooked, but he didn't realize that the thief was sneaking away behind him. The more the thief thought about it, the more scared he became. After an internal struggle, he decided to call the police. Soon the police came to John's home. John first stared for a moment, then he calmly invited the police into the house. He also learned that someone had reported him anonymously, but John didn't take it personally. He showed his ID as a judge. He said he went to play soccer with his boss yesterday. Seeing the other side mentioned their leader, they had to simply walk through the room and left quickly, because they did not want to be reprimanded by the leader. And the thief who hid in the dark saw the police leave like that. He secretly scolded them for being losers, because he often did some stealing things. He couldn't get in touch with the police face to face. As soon as the police had left, John put the tilted portrait back on its right side. He was sure someone had been here last night. Since it was useless to call the police, Jack made a big decision. That night he sneaked into John's house again. He shut down the security system the same way he did before. He also managed to open the secret door to the basement.